Welcome to The Pitch. Two budding entrepreneurs get just 90 seconds to win over a panel of hard-eyed, cynical capitalists. Now, if our panelists like the idea, they'll connect our dreamers with some of the best business minds around to help them take the scheme to the next level. But there is a catch. They could hate them both. Send them on their way. Here's The Pitch.
Hi, I'm Sandra Milligan, founder and creator of Box Cosmetics, a proudly Canadian cosmetic company.
Hi, I'm Vincent Turner, and my company Planwise helps people make better financial decisions.
Hi there, welcome to our show. Now, you heard a little bit from our two entrepreneurs already. Let's tell you about the gang they have to win over today. To my left, Pro Bowl Lawler. He's founding member, Maple Leaf Angels. Great to see you again, Pro Bowl.
Thanks, Andy.
And just remind us, Maple Leaf Angels, what are you all about?
We're a 40-person seed funding organization, typically former entrepreneurs. We look to help companies that are doing their first round of financing, generally put in anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000. But typically it's not just about the money. We generally bring expertise and contacts, so we like being philanthropic in terms of our investments as well as looking at our ROI.
And how many businesses have you backed so far, would you say, Pro Bowl?
We have currently done about 16 in the last 5 years, about 7 million in so far.
Making a triumphant return, Larry Wasser, entrepreneur in residence at the Rotman School of Management at the U of T. Great to see you again, Larry.
Always great to be here, Andy.
You're just back from Asia. You were blown away by Hong Kong.
Yes, it's my first time over there. I went with the family for Christmas, and you know, I often say you see a picture and you think you know everything, but when you go and see it in real life, it's just an amazing thing, and was blown away by what we saw.
Just the energy of the place?
Yeah, I think the whole infrastructure they have built up over the last 5 to 10 years. Hong Kong is just skyscrapers everywhere you look. There are people that are just going in all directions, moving, and I said to my kids, you better get to work because these people are on the run.
Oh, my goodness. And a man who feeds tens of thousands of Canadians every day, Philip Brown, CEO of Brown's Dining Solutions. Great to see you again, Philip.
Andrew, good to see you. Looking forward to 2012.
Now, what you love doing, in part, is taking over other catering companies. And you love meeting the people running them. You hear pitches. What do you look for in a pitch, Philip?
Have to be concise. So I do two things, Andrew. One, I do invest in upstart companies where you hear a lot more singular pitches, and you need to be concise. You have to generate in a very quick order that buzz factor that when you walk out of here, you want to phone someone and tell them about the business you've just heard about. In Brown's Dining Solutions, though, we're in roll-up mode, so we're acquiring middle-market companies in the dining sector and nutritional sector in Canada. We're the largest privately owned company in Canada right now, en route to be at $100 million with several acquisitions on the go. We are looking for acquisitions in the dining and nutritional space anywhere in Canada. People who are feeding people, we want to talk to them.
Okay, he got his own pitch in there. Coming up, we're going to meet our first entrepreneur. Just 90 seconds to tell us why her made-in-Canada makeup with special packaging will solve problems for women everywhere.
Whiteout. Alberta Clipper. Nor'easter. Snowmageddon. Or, thanks to the 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee Select Terrain Snow Setting, fun time. Select Terrain. Just what you'd expect from a Jeep.
Colon cancer is the #2 killer of all cancers. It can affect anyone. But with early detection, the survival rate is estimated at 90%. The key? A simple test you do in your own home.
I'm Anne Murray, and I lost a very dear friend to colon cancer. He was 49, and had he been tested, he might still be with us. Talk to your doctor. Get your test. Not knowing is not the answer.
Our first entrepreneur is Sandra Milligan, founder of Box Cosmetics. Welcome to the show. 90 seconds, take it away.
I created Box Cosmetics to offer a line of high-quality, Canadian-made cosmetics and accessories with innovative storage and packaging concepts, focusing on luxury brand market share in the cosmetics industry. Consumers spend a large portion of their cosmetics purchase on product packaging. which sometimes supersedes the cost of actually making the cosmetic itself. This kitschy platform of marketing by many manufacturers can usually get the consumer to buy the product once, but does not generate a return customer. Consumers need a solution to carry their products in a more convenient and user-friendly way, and few brands offer the consumer the choice of which products they buy to put in their compact. The Box Cosmetic solution enables the consumer to buy a one-time, reusable and refillable compact in a large or small size. The system fundamentally eliminates the waste factor, empowering the consumer by allowing them to choose which products they put in their compact. The result is a completely customizable and interchangeable makeup system that leaves the consumer with an environmentally conscious purchase today and in future purchases. With a design patent pending on our large compact called the Box, we are currently the only company that offers a compact that safely stores both cream and powder products together, and we're looking to raise $500,000.
Beautiful, concise, like butter. Probo, what questions do you have for Sandra?
Well, not being an expert in the cosmetics area, I did a little bit of searching, and one of the interesting quotes I found on the internet was the founder of Revlon mentioned that he's not in the cosmetic business, but in the business of selling hope. And I guess it all comes down to, from what I gathered, a lot about building brand. Can you tell us a little bit about how you build your branding strategy and take that competitive advantage in this space?
Well, first of all, we have many competitors in the cosmetics industry and the beauty industry as a whole. And the whole industry thrives on new development and innovation. That's what sells the next great product. So what I did was I took what I knew best about beauty, and I created products that simply don't exist in the market. And that's enough reason why a woman would want it, just because it doesn't exist. So for that reason, I have some innovation. I have some experience, 17 years or so, in the beauty industry, which gave me the knowledge to create these products that are definitely in need, and I've been told by women what they need. So that's how we plan to sort of focus on what products we sell moving forward, is by getting the actual knowledge from the consumer.
Super. So Sandra, love the business. Although
you.
I'm not a user, I am fond of high-margin businesses, and you certainly have one in cosmetics, and so you'd know that from your experience. I guess my question that I would lead with would be, you've got competition.
Yes.
So I think of names like Sephora, I think of MAC Cosmetics, a Canadian great success story. What is it you're doing that the women of the world that are in these stores are not being able to buy there that they're going to be able to buy from you?
They're not being able to choose a compact that actually stores more than one product at a time, that can put their products together in one space to alleviate a large makeup bag full of product. So what I did is I created multi-use products that have multi-functions. For instance, one of our cream correctors would double as a foundation by adding water or cream, any kind of emollient. That doesn't exist in the marketplace. It's a brand new product. I haven't found anyone who has a product even similar.
And would anybody be able to copy that, or you're saying these leading brands can't take your idea and
They
rip
don't
it
have
off?
my formula. They can emulate anything on the planet, right? But they don't have my formula.
Okay, so that's your competitive edge.
Absolutely.
What's your primary go-to-market strategy, and who's your primary initial market to get launched? And then beyond that, where are you at in terms of sales now, sales traction?
We just launched at the end of September, and we launched with 2 retail stores, one in Vancouver and one in the Toronto area. Both stores are doing very well. We also sell directly to the consumer. I have an online platform. And I've just signed on with the Shopping Network to do a show in April, which I really love because I love the educational platform. I think that people need to be educated on how to use their products. And then we've also signed on with another, probably the largest online luxury cosmetics retailer in Canada, and that will roll out in May, a month after Shopping Channel.
Okay, so one of the concerns I would have in this business is you can quickly blow a lot of money trying to market into the cosmetics industry. So if you can find some low-cost strategies, I like the idea of strategic relationships. Would this work for like a sort of a network marketing platform where you could add on to people who are already in women's homes selling something that may not be competitive but is comparable, perhaps?
It absolutely can, and we're going to explore that moving forward.
So just quickly, you want 500 grand. What are you going to do with it, and how would the investor ever get their money back?
Well, as you know, the margins are very, very high in this business, and if you do make it big, it's bigger than big. It's better money than you can make in the stock market.
And what are you
for
going to
certain.
do with the money?
So the $500,000 is going to be mostly inventory, 40%, another 40% going to PR, and also the brand build-out, doing sampling programs like with companies such as Luxbox, and then the other 20% will go to ancillary and staffing.
Gotta leave it there. That's the pitch for Sandra Milligan, founder of Box Cosmetics. Bigger than big. I love that. Let's find out what we find out what our panelists think. Let's move on and hear about our next entrepreneur. We're going to hear about a financial planning website. Our contender says it should be your first step before going to a bank for a loan. Vincent Turner, founder of PlanWise, is waiting in the wings, ready to woo our panel of capitalists. The pitch on BNN continues right after this.
Now's the best time to get behind the wheel of a Toyota and drive home a deal. Get up to $4,000 cash incentives on select 2012 models like Corolla, Matrix, Venza, and Tundra. Hurry in for great offers on great Toyota vehicles and drive home a deal.
Can't believe I'm turning 50. Jenny's engaged. Rebecca's finishing high school. Little Natalie, she's 13. 3 grown daughters.
Dad, can I borrow the car?
Your sister has it. Wow, 50.
You can handle it.
Life adds up. Your finances should too. Visit a CIBC branch today for free financial advice and achieve what matters to you.
These are the Bose Quiet Comfort 15 noise-canceling headphones. Engineered to make air travel quieter and music more enjoyable. Bose was the first to introduce noise-canceling headphones over 20 years ago. And these are the new standard. Seth Porges of Popular Mechanics states that compared to the competition, the QC15s are vastly superior. Try them for 30 days risk-free with free shipping. Quiet Comfort 15 headphones, only from Bose.
Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Keep track of them all with the BNN Portfolio Builder. Tips, tools, and expert advice. All this month on Canada's Business News Network, BNN.
Welcome back. We just heard from our first entrepreneur, Sandra Milligan of Box Cosmetics. Now it's time to hear from the competition. Our second entrepreneur is Vincent Turner, founder of PlanWise.com. Vincent, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
90 seconds. You're in charge.
Thank you. Financial security for most people is found in their ability to look after their family and their direct selves and to pay down or manage their debt. Yet the major decisions that we make that influence these two factors, having children, houses, cars, vacation and the like, we make decisions with virtually no understanding of how our future financial situation will look. PlanWise is a free, simple solution that is helping to solve this problem for people. You simply go to planwise.com and without having to give up your personal information like name and number, you provide your financial situation and then you can add your plans and you can instantly see visually how these will play out in the future. And you can save all this information so you don't have to keep re-entering it time and time as these plans and your financial situation evolves. Now, we went into beta in December just last year, and we're seeing 20% week-on-week growth. We're not spending anything on marketing of users coming to the site. But more than that, we're seeing people who want to give PlanWise to their customers. These are people from credit counselling agencies to credit bureaus like Experian, who we're talking to about partnering, people, high-end real estate agents, personal finance blogs, and of course banks. So we think we're onto something. I've got 10 years worth of experience developing software and lending. In fact, the company I was formerly with, the software we implemented in over 90% of banks in Australia, and my co-founder is a star engineer, Carnegie Mellon graduate with a 4.05 GPA.
Down to the wire.
And down to the wire. Okay.
That's it, Pro Bowl.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit more about how you make money in your business model.
Absolutely. We've actually signed 3 banks banks for the business model. The primary model, the one that we're already going to market with, is a model where we introduce customers to banks. Banks spend $4 billion a year in the US on clicks for ads to get customers for financial services products, but tens of billions on customer acquisition. So it's primarily around introducing customers when they're ready to providers of the credit products they need to go through with their plans.
How's that different from, say, an existing bank that may already provide planning tools with their existing base?
It's interesting. I'll answer that in two parts. One is that the tools themselves are different. In fact, we saw bank calculators as one of the reasons there was an opportunity. The user experience around bank calculators is appalling, and we're actually being approached by banks who want to provide our tool as more of an enterprise solution to their customers. So we do actually have two business models. I hope that answers both your first and second question.
Mm-hmm. So just following on Probol's point, Vincent,
sure.
I know Bankrate and LendingTree are in this business.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you'd call them competitors or not, but tell me what it is that you're offering, other than perhaps the process is an easier journey for the consumer.
Yeah.
The online experience is better? I mean, is it a technology better?
The technology itself is far better. I mean, the LendingTree and Bankrate and the lead gen business that they represent are primarily there to attract customers to their website and then sell that customer as an opportunity, a name and a number to a bank. They're an arbitrage business. Typically, they don't attract investment because of this. We're actually primarily focused on getting users to enjoy the experience before they're ready for a product. We think this is where the gap in the market is. You have $1.5 trillion worth of spending decisions every year, and people get very little tool to work out whether they should be doing it or not, or what to do and in what order. At the time when they're ready for a product, absolutely we can help them with that. Our focus is on getting their trust initially with the tool, and then when they're ready, connecting them to the right lender or advisor.
And what put you onto this in the first place? I'm interested. Is it that you were frustrated online, or?
Personally, I've had experiences where I felt that my knowledge of both banking, lending and technology could solve this problem. I spent 10 years in Australia developing lending solutions, and we found that we were one step away from the customer. And although we don't suggest people should get products without advice, we think that they should be better informed and engaged in the process. And the idea was to take everything we knew about lending, take the pieces that were relevant to the customer and allow them to use that in their own environment, in their own self-service way, and then when they're ready, enable them to connect whichever advisor or lender they're ready to talk to.
Great.
So much for the impulse purchase, right? We've got to think through our decisions now. That's going to take all the fun out of it for us.
Well, I think what we're trying to do is to say there is a financial reality to what you're doing, and if we make it easy for you to explore that reality, and probably with someone else you trust, we find the big decisions.
But North Americans don't want to live in reality. But anyway, let's talk about barrier to entry in your business, okay? Barrier to entry, and then talk a little bit about your market traction and cash flows. You're looking for some money.
Sure.
What are you going to do with it?
We're looking for a seed round of about $500,000. It's primarily to go from beta to launch. We have a lot of distribution opportunities, and that was an area that was a nice surprise for us. We have people who want to give our product out, and we want to make sure that our model is one that enables us to be ubiquitous as quickly as possible, and that requires financing.
And just talk quickly about barriers to entry now.
Oh, barriers to entry, sorry. Yeah. The main barriers to entry, I think, is you really need to bring together a team that has a knowledge of finance and technology and the ability to combine those two into a meaningful consumer internet product. I think the second barrier to entry for a lot of people who are already in the space, your Mints, your LendingTrees and Bankrates, is that they have to fundamentally change the business they're in today, and that's a barrier. Being able to change what you know and what you know how to do to something else which may even impact your current business is a major barrier to entry.
And so finally, how do you monetize your business then once you have the traction?
Two ways to monetize. Either we introduce customers, the banks we've signed were already are signed to pay $50 per lead, or an enterprise solution. So we're talking to one of the big banks, I can't say who, about providing it as part of their banking solution. So they're the two ways we plan to monetize.
All right. Well, cosmetics, financial planning, both of our entrepreneurs are looking for $500,000 after the break. We'll find out from our panelists if they have any chance of getting it. The pitch. We'll be right back after this.
Attention men and women ages 40 to 75. Have you received this special notice from BMO Insurance yet? If not, you're urged to call this number now, because applications are now being accepted for money-saving Guaranteed Life Plus. The Canada Pension Plan pays just $2,500 in death benefits, yet the cost of a funeral in Canada today can be more than $10,000. Other deaths and expenses can run thousands more. Guaranteed Life Plus helps pay these expenses. There's no medical. You cannot be turned down. Rates start at just $5 a week and never increase. Free information will be sent only to those who call. If you don't have insurance for final expenses or you don't have enough, call now. You're covered for life with tax-free cash benefits. For accidental death, 5 times your benefit will be paid. Don't wait. Call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-221-3161 now for free information. That's 1-800-221-3161. Call now.
Since 1965, CI Investments has grown to become Canada's largest independent asset management company, with $70 billion under management. Ask your financial advisor about CI, Canada's investment company.
The biggest business stories and newsmakers when you want to watch them. BNN's Video on Demand. Now available on your smartphone and tablet. Watch at bnn.ca. Brought to you by Lexus.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Bell. Switch to amazing Bell TV. One phone call and get set up as early as tomorrow. Bell, switching just got better.
It's decision time. Our panelists heard those two very different business pitches, and here's a recap. Our first entrepreneur, Sandra Milligan, founder, Box Cosmetics.
The Box Cosmetics solution enables the consumer to buy a one-time, reusable and refillable compact in a large or small size.
And then we heard from Vincent Turner, founder, Planwise.com.
You simply go to planwise.com, you provide your financial situation, and then you can add your plans and you can instantly see visually how these will play out in the future.
Prabal, can I start with you? Would you put money into Box Cosmetics?
At this time, I'd have to pass, primarily for two reasons. I do believe, from what I gather, the cosmetic game really is a marketing game, and you're playing a product game, and $500,000 won't get you where you need. Secondly, it looks like your use of funds for the most part is more for inventory, which is something that I wouldn't, from an equity perspective, be looking to put my money.
Larry.
I'm also a pass. I like the pitch, Sandra, and I like the margin, so it's not about that. I think it's more about your go-to-market strategy that bothers me. You are, on the one hand, trying the kind of the shopping channel route, which is a great strategy. The infomercial game is a great game. You can do big volume, but on the flip side, you're diminishing the brand and the quality of the brand by going to that market. So I always thought people pay big money and get big margins for cosmetics because of the brand being exclusive. Don't know if you're not confusing me when you do that.
I'm a pass as an investor, but I do like your pitch, and I think you're onto something really unique here, so I'm going to offer some advice, and that is keep your sights low, a little lower at this point in time. There's a great book called The Lean Genome that you might want to read, and what happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, they want to grow too big too fast, and I would just say keep bootstrapping. I like a lot of things you're doing, and I know it's exciting to be in Vancouver and in Toronto and New York, but build a small, solid business first. You'll get a strategic partner then who can take it to the next level. You might get an acquisition offer. Keep it low and simple. And on inventory, you should be able to finance your inventory through traditional financing channels. If you're paying more than 10% interest on inventory financing, it's too much. But I'd be happy to share some other thoughts. I think stick with what you're doing, though, and just take your time, and you'll probably be fine.
Thank you.
Sandra, was that helpful? How do you feel about the feedback there?
It's actually exactly how I feel. I do want the business to grow organically, and there have been some other opportunities that I've turned down. So at this point, I definitely agree, although it takes money to make money. So, you know, the sampling programs take inventory, and to provide the reps with product to go out and, you know, do an at-home business-based platform takes money to spend. So we need inventory to build out the brand.
Given the margins, I wouldn't recommend this in retail or other low margin things, but given the margins, you could probably afford a fairly decent cost of inventory financing, and there's lots of people out there who will finance inventory. It may be a little expensive in the beginning, but given that you've got strong margins, you might be able to afford that. So you don't need to give away your company to start financing your inventory. We can talk to you about that as well.
But at this stage, you're interested, but guys, you're giving
No, it's a pass in terms of an investor, but certainly I'd be happy to offer some advice on that.
Okay, well, let's move on. Planwise.com, Prabal, would you put money in there?
Again, at this time would be a pass. I'd like to hear a little bit more in terms of the overall business model, how you make money, barriers to entry. Sure. So it's a yellow.
What's the main reason you're wary, Prabal?
Well, like any web development, there's a lot of folks that can follow in fairly quickly. Secondly, the financial institutions themselves typically do have their own tools, and I don't know how compelling the need is right now in terms of, I know that the tool does help, but is it something that is solving a significant pain point, and I just don't see that.
Larry.
I think it's a little early for me, Vincent, because you know, you're just starting your beta. I'd like to have a look at it and try it myself to see how easy it is to navigate, and then I'd have a better feel for, you know, what I think the value of the proposition would be. Having said that, you know, to think about some of the possibilities, you know, a bank who you are in discussions with, don't want to name the name, and you said that earlier, is intriguing to me because maybe that might be your go-to-market strategy, where you take on a partner like a bank, and then you kind of take away ProBohl's concern about somebody coming in and taking over your business before you even get to of size.
Sure.
So that may be a great way to get to market and still keep your business.
Sure. I'm with Larry. Same advice to you and Sandra, and that is keep it low and slow right now. Hang on to your business. And often these new strategic partners have investment capital available that doesn't take equity out of your business. So if they're likely to be a customer, a paying customer, you might be able to leverage those future orders for some cash on hand. Also, one guy you may want to talk to in Canada is David Chilton. He just is the guy who wrote The Wealthy Barber. You may not know it, but he's a famous Canadian author. He just launched a new book. This would be a tool that would be a great co-branding tool with someone like that. I'd be happy to talk to you about David after the show.
Yeah, because he's very much these days about reducing your debt.
He's all about reducing
and
debt.
saving and spending wisely.
And saying, I can't afford it.
Yeah. Was that helpful at all?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to try and respond too much on the enterprise side. With 10 years selling software to banks in Australia, I know how long it takes to sell software to banks in any environment. So I think going to market with what we have and getting people loving the product is the way to sell to enterprise, and that's actually our go-to-market strategy. Perhaps I wasn't clear on that. Any introductions to people who see value in giving our tool as part of their proposition, I'm always interested in, so that's fantastic feedback. From an investment perspective, I think we're ready, so we'll beg to differ on that part.
Good stuff. So, guys, I think it was kind of an amber reddish light, but you're intrigued by the idea here.
I think both businesses have interesting opportunities. I think both entrepreneurs want to get to the moon faster than they will be able to. And so I always, not always, but in these two cases, I just recommend a little go slower format. You're saying you're growing at 20% per week. That's 100% every 5 weeks. So in 3-4 months, you should have a very much more compelling story that you can create some financing in a creative way that doesn't necessarily give up your company. Don't be too excited about bringing in common shareholders, because they're going to rip your heart out.
I know, make your life a misery.
They're going to make your life miserable.
And you can never get your equity
back. And you can't get it
back.
back, and now you're going to be answering to someone else and say, this morning...
Gotta leave it there.
You wake up and answer to yourself right now.
Guys, thanks very much. Thanks very much to our distinguished panelists as well. We're out of time on The Pitch. If you have a business idea, send it to us, thepitch@bnm.ca. We'll be back the same time next week.